This is Sims, and we are back with more of the Men of Yoshiwara, Kikuya, and we are coming in, and I'm going to start skipping, because we are going to get our happy ending in Kigeru's route, because we got our super happy ending the last time. I quietly nodded, right? Okay, I'm just going to pick the same things, doesn't really matter, because we are going to get our regular happy ending, and then we'll do the after scenario and the date scenario and all that shit. Try to get all those done in this part, so. I can't do that, I think is what I said? Okay. I don't know what the right answers are. I'm just clicking what I think I said the last time, so we don't have to read different things. The abiding love. Okay. 3 days later, just as the doctor said, my temperature dropped significantly and I was able to go home. For a moment, I was worried about you, but now everything is fine. Yes, I'm truly sorry for causing such worry. Spacey, just having him call my name made my heart leap. Kageru-san, thank you so much. No, it's fine. Our glances intertwined. His eyes were straightforward and pure. Looking in his eyes was like looking at the Milky Way in the summer. Well, see you. As I crossed the threshold of the shop. Wait. Kageru-san ran after me. Kageru-san? This is for you. The boy had a flower in his hand. The flower was the same one that he had picked every day while I was sick in bed. This flower... Kageru-san put the delicately blooming flower into my hair, just as he did when I was ill in bed the other day. In the language of flowers, this flower is enduring love. Enduring love. Please believe me and wait for me. Kageru-san. With a tight squeeze, I was embraced by Kageru-san's arms. Is our happy ending going to be that he doesn't get freed? And because that's sad. That's not happy. It was like he put all of his feelings into it. He then pressed his lips on my forehead without making a sound. A gentle kiss. I'll never do anything to make you feel sad ever again. So, his earnest attitude made my eyes moisten. Yes. He continued to embrace me for a long time. It was as if our hands would never touch each other again. If we were to let go, well then... I turned around and started to head home. But when I looked back, Kageru-san continued to look at me with those clear eyes of his, looking at me until we could no longer see each other, without once looking away the whole time. It's not like I didn't believe him. He was a very straightforward person in every respect. But this is Yoshiwara. Here, the hands of these beautiful and ephemeral men exist for the purpose of sleeping with women. That's the kind of town this place was. Whether I liked it or not. He will sleep with other women with that pure heart of his. The tears that I had been trying to hold back flowed out like someone had opened the floodgates. No, I believe him. I should believe him. I did say I should believe him or I should believe in him. I'm not really sure. I don't really remember. Anyway, he always thought of me as his #1 priority. So he always put himself second. He was devoted to me. But Yoshiwara, where the cherry blossoms flutter under the blue sky, looked like a very lonely place. But, as if I was casting away many memories, I left the red light district. How long has it been since then? About 10 days? Please take care of these accounts as well. Yes. I completely returned to the life that I had before. The days passed by at such a dizzying pace that my memory of staying in Yoshiwara and of being ill started to fade away. Oh yeah, there was a visitor for you while you were out running errands for me. She was a very beautiful woman named Shion. Do you know her well? What? Shion-san? What my mother then told me was that Shion-san wanted to make a deal with our shipping business, to ship cargo related to her husband's business. And she said she'd be coming here now to discuss the deal, so please handle this. Me? I'm going to make a delivery to a regular customer. So you can handle it, right? I'm counting on you. After saying that, she quickly left the house. I'm going to discuss the deal with Shion-san. Is that really okay? Since I know her, it might make me feel at ease. But I felt strangely nervous. Knock, knock. I heard the sound of knocking on the sliding door. It was a customer. Come in, I've been waiting for you. I made myself presentable and then opened the sliding door. When I did, right there was Kakeru. Lovely. He's not dressed as a gentleman now, he's just normsies. Anyway. It's been so long, Spacey. It's been like 2 weeks. Not even. 10 days, but still. Kakeru-san stood there with a pose that was loaded with sarcasm. Why? I heard that I was going to discuss business with Shion-san. My sister will be late because of her business partner, so I've come here in her place. Huh? But, Kakeru-san, what about Kikuya? Is it okay for a gentleman to be outside of Yoshiwara? It's no problem. I'm just a normal person now. What? I don't understand. What do you mean by that? You're such a slow person. Kakeru-san sighed in an affected manner. Was he making fun of me like he would always do? I asked my sister to lend me money to get out of the red light district. So does that mean you accepted her offer to buy your freedom? No, I borrowed money! Even though he refused so vehemently before, he accepted her offer to buy his freedom. With an air of triumph, Kakeru-san took my hand and brought it close to his mouth. His previous cynical eyes had now turned completely serious. Spacey, I came here to ask for your hand in marriage. Marriage? Marriage? Did I mishear that But I have yet to decide what I'll do after this. But I'm supposed to help my sister's business for a while using knowledge from my studies. After that, I still have to carve my path in life on my own strengths. Spacey... yes? My hands, which were now being held by Kakeru-san, were hot, even though they weren't sweaty. Will you be forever by my side? I mean... yeah, until, we move on to the next guy. He is... What is he saying? You don't think I can make you happy? No, it's not like that. My answer is yes. I'll be with you forever. With those words, my mind became completely clear. And then, a moment later, the room's sliding door was opened. Cock blocking. Surprised by this, I immediately let go of his hand. Spacey, Shion-san was in front of the store, so I brought her in with me. It's been a while, Spacey-san. Shion-san. The person that my mother brought with her was Shion-san. No fucking way. I love that. My mother brought in Shion-san. She just said that we met her in front of the store, so who did you think we were going to bring with us? Crazy. Actually, I discovered a problem with the job that I wanted to ask of you. For our current cargo, I need someone on the receiving end who's proficient in Dutch. As someone who can understand a foreign language? That might be a problem. Both myself and Spacey haven't learned anything like that. What should we do? We only need the person for a few months while we receive the cargo. Speaking of, maybe... I looked at Kakeru-san, who was in front of me. On the subject of foreign languages, Kakeru-san, you've learned some, right? Yes, I can only read. Really? Oh, really? You guys have already promised to get married, haven't you? How did our mother fucking know this? Mother? So, if Shion-san is okay with that, and this will be for a few months, so... he can stay at our house and help us, can't he? Stay at our house? Is that what my mother just said? She's like, you're getting married, right? I guess. Your boyfriend can stay over, but only if you're getting married. It's like, did our mother know that we were... Did Shion come up to her and be like, I want you guys, and like, Spacey's gonna marry my brother, but don't tell her. That's a good idea. If he stays at your warehouse, he can learn many things about being a merchant. Kagura didn't get freed in this path, and that makes me sad. Like, that's right. The super happy ending is we got Kagura out, and now we don't have him out. It's like, that's really weird. Like, The difference between the happy and the super happy is Kagura. That's... Wow. Poor Kageru. Like, your route is just... It's only about him. Anyway. Sister, you're kidding, right? No, I already lied enough when she was ill. So you're serious about this? Kageru-san and I will be together under the same roof. I mean... When we looked at each other's faces, Kageru-san's face was a brighter red than I've ever seen before. In the end, after being pushed to do so by my mother and Shihan-san, it was decided that Kageru-san would stay in our house. Since then, a month's time calmly passed by. In the same house, in the same room, and in one bed. I still couldn't get used to it. Today was another hard day of work. I'm worn out. I didn't expect the shipments to arrive at the port on the mainland. Thanks to you, our deals have gone through without a hitch. It's really not that big of a deal. Because you helped me a lot too, Spacey. We work pretty well together too, don't you think? Kageru-san said that cheekily as if he were already a professional. His recalcitrant attitude. Recalcitrant. It's like I've heard it before, but at the same time it doesn't sound right. You know what I mean? Like I've heard recalcitrant before, but then when you say it, you're like, what? But that doesn't sound right. So weird. Anyway, attitude didn't change. If you keep acting cocky like that, Shion-san will punish you again. And that wouldn't be good, since we will soon be married. Marriage. That's right. After 10 more days, we'll finally become a married couple. Well, I'm tired, so I'm going to bed now. Kageru-san stretched, changed into his sleepwear, and then lied down on the bed. Are you going to sleep already? What the fuck did he just say? We don't listen to her husband. I wanted to talk to him more. Good night, Spacey. And then I began to hear the regular sound of his quiet breathing as he slept. He must have been really tired. Anyway, did he really fall asleep already? I then quietly slipped my body into the same bed. Even the boy who always spoke harshly was as adorable as a child when his eyes were closed. He is super cute, like that way. Kageru-san, enduring love. If it's with him, I'm sure that we'll live the rest of our lives well. If it's just a little, I won't wake him, will I? Girl, what are you doing? I then slowly laid a kiss upon his shapely lips. I didn't expect you to kiss me. Kageru-san then opened his eyes and stared at my face. I didn't think you'd actually surprise me in my sleep. What? Were you pretending to sleep? This is why we're missing 4 CGs, because we have 2 in this one. It's interesting. There's 2 in the happy ending, but not in the super happy ending. Because I think this counts as 2. They don't have it as like 1 with 2 different variations. Like in this one, they do it like individuals. But anyway. You're terrible. It's cute when you pout like that. It makes me want to tease you more. It makes me want to tease you. No, never mind. He's that guy, but he's done in such a soft little way you don't normally... You're normally like, God damn you! You're like, you little bastard. He's like the very docile, like, teasy asshole. There's a term for it, but I don't know them and I don't care to learn them. Look. Some people have... I don't. Look. I don't. I just... Yeah. It's too hard to keep up. Brain can't handle it. Anyway. Hey, don't stay so far from me. Come closer. Quickly, he extended his arms and held my body close to him. Frustrated to have been deceived, I turned my face away from him when... He stole a kiss from me. Kakeru-san! And that's because you were looking away from me. He tapped my lips with his finger with a look of satisfaction on his face. If this is how it'll be, and then I can be sharp and tease you with all my heart from now on. Kageru-san laughed in his usual manner, but I felt warm in his arms. Maybe it's not so bad. We then looked at each other and laughed for a long time. The end. Okay. Now we'll do our sequel. Sequel, the Komachi Rouge. Ooh. It's been a few months since Kageru-san began staying in our warehouse. We finished our wedding ceremony. It's so funny because it's almost like you have the happy at every time you get into the sequel and the date scenarios. It's definitely like everything that happened in the super happy ending and the regular happy ending kind of go together. Like, oh, we got married and he's staying with us, which is what he was doing in the happy ending, but would have probably been in the super happy ending, but we just didn't get the he's living with us. We're going to get married in the future. It was like, we're getting married. But then he ends up living with you. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what point I'm trying to make. It's just, it's interesting that it's like the sequel and the date always kind of like blends the two together. It's not like, oh, well, it only works if you got the happy ending or only works if you got the super happy ending. It's kind of like they're generally basically both the same. I don't think I want bad endings, but it's almost like, well, if you had a bad ending and then you had a good ending, it'd be different, at least, as opposed to like the super happy ending and the happy ending are the exact same fucking thing. It's just you saw the wedding ceremony in the super happy ending and Kagura was free. That's the only difference. Anyway, we finished our wedding ceremony and started living together under one roof to help my family business. I mean, you were doing that before. In the morning, when we sat together for breakfast, our breakfast was there on the table making warm steam. I changed the taste of the boiled fish today. I picked up a piece of boiled fish with chopsticks and brought it to Kageru-san's mouth. Miss Spacey, I can do that by myself. Kageru-san's face turned red and he brought his face away from it. It's okay. Go ahead and eat it. Do you like it? We're trying to feed you and be sexy. Hey, you're shameless. Kageru-san reluctantly ate the piece of fish held by the chopsticks. And this taste, it's delicious. Good. I tried to give it a lighter flavor to match your tastes. And this is definitely how I like it. But since it's mushy, it's a waste of good flavoring. And I like miso soup that is a slightly deeper flavor. He spoke like he was my mother-in-law. Was this the reverse side of love? No, it's just him being an asshole. I took a sip of the soup in my bowl. Is it too light? I still have a lot to learn. And then you should work hard to make it match my tastes. And since you're the woman I chose, Spacey, I can sell you back to the red light district, you know. His mean eyes shined with pleasure in the light of the morning sun. Him being this bitchy about it, I'm like, you know what? You need to learn your place. I mean, your sister bought you, but I own you now. Your sister bought you for me. You are a gift. Sit down, shut up, and you eat the food that I make. I mean, you would try to cater. Like, oh, I'll try to make things that you, but like, you wouldn't, you also need to like, not be so bitchy about it. This is one of those moments where I'm like, you know what? I like you a little bit less now. But then he'll do something nice and we'll be like, aw. He's still not my favorite, but I mean, anyway. His mean eyes shined with pleasure in the light of the morning sun. Kageru-san, I knew that he couldn't be honest about his feelings, but when you say something like that, I'm not sure if you're praising me or criticizing me. I show my love in a very roundabout way. And don't you know that already? Well, forced with this confident smile, I was at a loss for words. If you don't eat now, it'll get cold. When I puffed up my cheeks in a little anger, Kageru-san proudly raised the end of his eyebrows. As we approached the end of breakfast, I stood up to carry our dishes to the kitchen. Spacey, wait. Huh? Aww. I suddenly found myself wrapped up in Kageru-san's arms from behind. See, and then that's cute, you know? Kageru-san? I'm sorry for what I said before. I am always grateful. He gently crossed his hands around my stomach. My back and his stomach then touched each other snugly, and my heart became filled with warmth. I was actually happy that you thought of me. I liked this gentle voice and embrace. It was like Kageru-san's unspoken feelings were being poured into this. But if possible, I wanted him to be a little more honest about his feelings. Spacey, he softly stroked the outline of my cheek with his finger, and then he slowly turned my face back towards him. Oh, this is our moaning because we're getting kissed, huh? Yeah. He kissed me. Once, twice, and on the third time it became deeper. His tongue split apart my lips and sensually invaded my mouth. Now she's whooing. Slight of breath like, deep breath, I guess. The strength of his arms' embrace increased, and the palms of his hands that were around my waist began petting the lower part of my body. Kakeru-san, no! It's still morning, girl. Shh. Sometimes morning sex is good, shut up. Our lips that once laid upon each other now slowly parted. Is it okay for you if it's not morning? And to be honest, I want to feel you all the time. Ever since our marriage ceremony, Kakeru-san wanted me more directly than before. But as he peered into my eyes with the look of a child that couldn't have his way, I felt kind of happy. But how should I respond to him? Take him into the bedroom and show him what you're made of? What? Nothing? I'm sorry. I've put you in an uncomfortable position. He rubbed my wet lower lip with his thumb. I understand. I'll stop now. He pressed his nose to my neck. His breath against my ear made me feel ticklish. I was about to drop the dishes from my hands. I got it. That was close. Kakeru-san immediately extended his hand to hold the dishes. I'm sorry. It's my fault for getting overly excited in the morning. I felt slightly relieved when he put away the hand that he had around my waist. Or did I feel a little disappointed? Disappointed because you're aggravating me. Show him who's boss. In the morning. What? Oh my god! The sun is up. We can't do that. You can do it anytime you want. Just place is okay. There's a time and place. But time of day doesn't matter. Like other types of time matter. You know what I'm saying. Anyway. I felt my face getting hot, so I looked away from his glance. Oh, is that a flower? I saw a familiar-looking flower in a vase near the window. That purple, reserved flower was the flower that Kakeru-san picked for me every day when I was sick in Kikuya. I saw the same flower blooming by the riverside. And that's right. I like this flower so much. The subtle smell and its delicate yet dignified appearance reminded me of the loved one who was right next to me. I remember that in the language of flowers, this flower means enduring love, right? But what is this flower's name? A name? Kakeru-san twisted his neck and thought deeply. Kagura only told me its meaning in the language of flowers, so I don't know. Kagura didn't teach you that, or he didn't know himself? But now that you mention it, it does bother me. He should be finishing up with his morning practice around this time. Why don't we try to ask Kagura-san? Yes, it would also be nice to see Kikuya on occasion. Okay, so then am I to interpret in this instance that this makes me wonder? Because it seemed like, oh, it's all kind of flushed together. But now I'm questioning it because I kind of felt that way too, even in Tokiwa's route. That we were talking about the little shop or whatever that we owned, and it was like, oh, okay, well, so whether you have the happy ending or the super happy ending, you get married, you run the little shop. But now I'm like, is our sequel and our date scenario really just following the happy ending? And like the super happy ending is just like fucking bonus? Because now you're making it sound like Kagura is still an escort, and it's kind of like, but he was freed in the super happy ending, so are we saying that the sequel and the date goes with the happy ending? And then like, you know what I mean? And then the super happy ending is just like bonus? So like, what would be the point of trying really hard to get the super happy ending? Like, let's get our max points up so we get the super happy ending, but technically all of the story stuff afterward is based on it's really bizarre. Anyway. And so we decided to head to Yoshiwara after a long time of being away. Hello. Oh, is that Kakeru and Spacey? It's been so long. Tokiwa-san. When we entered Kikuya, Tokiwa-san welcomed us with his friendly smile. Well, it looks like you guys have been getting along well. What does a young couple need with a town like this? We're trying to spice shit up. We've already gotten bored with each other in the bedroom after only 10 days. Oh, God. Tokiwa-san had a juicy smile on his face, but because of his character, I didn't feel annoyed. You haven't changed a bit, Tokiwa-san. Anyway, I have something to ask Kagura-san. Kagura-san? It doesn't seem like he's returned from his morning practice yet. So you guys can come on inside and wait. Okay, thank you. After waving our hands and saying thank you to Tokiwa-san, we went inside the shop. We moved forward through the hall that leads to Kagura-san's room, and we found the purple flower in the corner of the inner garden. I didn't expect it to also bloom here. This is where you picked the flower for me, so why would you say that? Okay, this game doesn't understand some of its own loopholes. I appreciate that when I was sick. Is no one going to tell my family? I'll go tell your mom. Hey, thanks. But she didn't seem to worry that we were missing for like weeks at a time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. Or then she was like, in the super happy ending, I didn't know you were going to Kikuya. Really? Because I'm pretty sure someone from Kikuya came and told you I was dying. Or did you not notice I was missing for a week? But then, and you picked these flowers for me, and now you're like, I didn't know they were here. What the fuck were you getting them from? Were you pulling them out of your ass? So, like, there's, like, big things that I'll know, like, you know, like the whole, no one's going to tell my mom. I'll tell your mom. Okay, cool. But then there's little things like this that you're like, seriously? That's a pretty big point you made of him constantly bringing us flowers from the garden, and now he doesn't know that they bloom there? The shit you forget. It wasn't only in the backyard. Oh, okay. All right. I'll accept that. I swear it was like he was in the garden, but okay, so he was in the backyard and found them, and he didn't know they were in the garden. Did you never go into the garden, though? I would feel like you should know they were in the garden versus the outside in the back. But okay, whatever. Anyway. It's a beautiful flower. So maybe someone planted it here, too. Like it was attracting us. We went down to the garden and crouched in front of the flower. We were close enough for our shoulders to touch. It really is a beautiful flower. The beautiful petals of this flower made me naturally want to touch it. When I extended my hand to the flower, his fingers touched mine, trying to pick the same flower. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's okay. It seems that we had the same thought. Side by side, we then smiled at each other. I wonder if even our feelings echoed each other after spending a long time together. Spacey, here you go. Kageru-san took one of the flowers and gave it to me. Well, what a rare guest. What rare guests. I looked back towards the voice. And there in the hallway, I met the glance of a gently smiling Iroha-san. Good lord, I can't read. It's been a long time, Iroha-san. It's been like 2 weeks. I mean, like, okay, it's probably been like a month or so. Because, like, you're thinking that he left and he was there and for a little while, and then we got married 10 days, and it's been like not even a month. It's been a long time. It's been like 20 days. Because in the happy ending, it was like, oh, he moved in, and 10 days later we were getting married. Okay, now, I guess more time could have passed. So it could have been a week, so it could be a couple of months, but it's not like it's been years. It's been like a month or so. I mean, anyway. I'm happy that you look to be well. But what is a married couple doing coming to a place like this? Well, we couldn't resist, and we're, again, third party. No. Has something happened? Yes, we wanted to ask Kagura-san about the name of this flower. This flower is... Hiroya-san narrowed his eyes meaningfully when he looked at the flower that Kageru-san was holding. And do you know the name of this flower? No. I just thought it was interesting that this flower is still blooming here. What do you mean? Well, it was a really long time ago. And this flower was divided by a top gentleman who left the shop after having his freedom bought. I didn't know this flower had that kind of history. But it seemed that the top gentleman had loved someone else. So the purchase of his freedom was not a happy one like yours. Unwillingly having one's freedom bought. When I heard that story, the flower that was quietly blooming at her feet seemed lonely. And maybe he wanted to leave the unachieved feeling of spending his life with her. Well, Oh, what was the meaning of this flower? Unattained love. Kageru-san put his fingers over mine. You said it was enduring. I looked at his profile standing next to me. What was it? There was something quiet but deep in his eye. Is it enduring love? Yes, that's it. You know quite a lot. I heard it from Kagura-san. Oh, and by the way, I asked Kagura to go on an errand, so he may come back a little late. Well then, I'll be going. Iroha-san bowed and then left from there as if nothing happened. I didn't know that this flower had such a history. It's that plant. It's not like the guy invented the flower. Yes, but really, we may be happier than we thought. We may be happier than we thought? Than we thought? Kageru-san, not only could we escape the captivity of the red light area, we could also live our life together. How precious it is. When I returned the grip of his fingers that were on top of mine, Kageru-san tangled his fingers with mine. Then he carried them to his mouth and softly smiled. It's strange. We were drawn to a flower with such a story. With a cute and light smooch, he kissed the palm of my hand. Kageru-san, the gentleness of his kiss filled my heart with overflowing happiness. I'm really happy to have met you. Yes, I love him. More than anyone and anything. Just when I thought that Kageru-san's eyes had moved from me to the flower. And by the way, and do you have the Komachi Rouge that I gave you? Komachi Rouge? I took the small shell out of my skirt pocket. Yes, here it is. I then looked at the picture painted on the familiar-looking shell and just as I thought. We both raised our voices. The flower painted on the shell was the same flower that was blooming in the garden. The purple, cute flower. And there were small characters written next to the painting. Chinese bellflower was clearly written there. Chinese bellflower. I guess we didn't notice due to the differences between the painting and the real flower. We compared the painting of the flower and the flower that was blooming quietly in the garden. Is it possible that this Komachi Rouge and Chinese bellflower are both important things that connected me and Kageru-san? A transparent feeling filled my heart. When I looked up at Kageru-san's face, my glance met his big, night-colored eyes. Perhaps the top gentleman who had his freedom pot was unable to attain happiness. But the flower that he left connected us like this. The meaning of the Chinese bellflower in the language of flowers is enduring love. No matter how far apart they were, his love would be eternal. The top gentleman must have left the flower here while hoping that from the bottom of his heart. Spacey, I think I need to be more honest about my feelings. Kageru-san? Let us be happy. For all the couples who couldn't be together. A very gentle smile spilled forth from that face that I love. Yes, we'll be happy forever. Spacey, his shapely fingers combed my hair, and I was embraced like our emotions were being pulled together. Then he laid his lips upon mine. His soft kiss, like a gentle breeze, always brought the feeling of spring to me. With the purpose of filling the heavenly garden of my heart with flowers of love. Kageru-san, we repeated kissing many times. Enduring love. The meaning of this flower and the language of the flowers remained firmly in our hearts. Okay, so. Date scenario! Date in the big festival. Yay! After a long trip, we arrived at the port, which was bustling with energy. Spacey, watch your step. Kageru-san lent me a hand as I tried to get off the boat. Yes, Kageru-san. To assist with Shion-san's business, we had been living on the seas, traveling from place to place on a trading vessel. It's been a while since we've had a break, but you ended up coming to where I wanted to go. And no, it's okay. I wanted to come to this island too. I'm glad to hear that. I've been wanting to come back to this island with you around this time. While looking slightly towards the ground, he joyously narrowed his smiling eyes. Well, let's go. Yes. He pulled my arm. but my pivoting foot caught in a gap between the bridge beams. Huh? Thump. I lost my balance and fell into Kageru-san's chest. What are you doing tripping about like that? Don't give me any problems. But this happened because you pulled my arm, Kageru. When I looked up at his face, he had the expression of a child who had just played a trick. Kageru-san, you did that on purpose, didn't you? So you found me out. So you were trying to trip me, you dick? I'm sorry. It felt so good to come to this island after such a long time. And it just happened. It just happened, Kageru-san. Please stop this habit of making fun of me when you feel happy. If I could stop it so easily, I'd have stopped already. He chuckled aloud. I mean, he does these things and you're like, yeah, you know. Like, look, your row was fine and you're okay and I don't hate you, but like, I also don't know if I necessarily like you that much. In the scheme of like the douche weasels who tease us and are always mean to us, he's not the worst. But it's still like, could you get over it already? Yeah, there's other look, there's people like, I don't care, Van Helsing could be as mean as he wanted to be to me forever, and I'm just like, I'm down with that because he's gorgeous. Kageru doesn't have the benefit of, you know, that. He just, it's like, no, you need to simmer down your douchiness. Because, like, it just makes me like, he's fine. I don't hate him, but I don't necessarily think that I don't want to be like, I don't like him, because it's not that. It's just like, you're fine. Anyway. And then Kageru-san used his fingers to play with my hair. It's your fault that I have this sort of habit. It's my fault. Blaming the victim. Gaslighting. And because you always pout your cute lips when I do something like this. He then poked my lips with his index finger. So you have a responsibility to entertain me. Hee Sorry. You're so mean. And yet his eyes watched over me with pleasure. Seeing him like this made me smile. With a feeling of excitement in my heart, we arrived at the market. We went around here and there, walking about the town that we hadn't seen in so long. Oh, wait. If you rush like that, you'll fall over again. But with his fingers having a firm hold on me, Kageru-san never stopped watching over me. I'm okay. Even if I fall over, I'm sure that you'll help me like you did before. As I began laughing at him, Kageru-san laughed with apparent embarrassment. Hey, it's been a while since we got married. But we still act like newlyweds. Again, it's probably been like 2 months. No, I'm just kidding. Oh! Kageru, isn't that bookstore over there the one you and I went to before? I pointed to the recognizable store. I doubt this island is really huge, so like, I get they've been away, so it's like, oh hey, remember that bookstore? But it's like, hey, isn't that the one? How many bookstores are on this fucking island? They don't have enough men on this island, but they've got like 500 bookstores? I'm just saying. Through the glass window, I could see mountains of books, which was still rare to see on this island. It looks like it's doing well. We weren't sure who took the first step, but we started walking toward the store. We looked inside the store through the glass window. This brings back memories. Kakeru-san placed his hands over my own hands, which were up against the glass. Rude, somebody's got to clean that. The gentleness of his somewhat bittersweet and soft hands caused the memories of that day to flow into my mind. It was here that Kageru-san and I first spent time together outside of the red light district. Spacey. With a clear voice, Kageru-san called my name, and then our eyes met. Kageru-san. As we continued staring at each other, our lips came close to each other and touched. As soon as I thought that, "You're bothering the other customers. Do that in the red light district." When we looked back, the portly, female shopkeeper, whatever, it's like, was standing at the entrance to the store. Sorry. As we held our hands and laughed together, we went back to the main street where we could see the bridge. This island is different from the outside world, isn't it? After living in the outside world for a while, I completely forgot about that. Even though we had been freed, on this island, young men only existed in Yoshiwara. So, yeah, I mean, so, okay, they went to the outside world, and but this, the funniest part about this is, like, you can go to the mainland and find yourself a husband. You don't have to live on the island. Nobody has to live on the island. Why do you stay here? Let's just turn this thing into a theme park and move. Obviously, some people can't, but... And that reminds me, when you were in Kikuya, didn't you tell me that there was a place you wanted to go with me to? Ah, yes, that. Perhaps because he had just run here? But it looked like he was slightly blushing as he thought about it for a moment. What happened? You'll understand when it turns to night. A meaningful smile then came across his face. Oh. And seeing this, I felt the speed of my heartbeat increase a little. We got tired of walking around the market, and around the time that twilight came to pass, we entered Yoshiwara and saw a strange crowd of people. But this seems a little different from normal. Did Yoshiwara change while we were away from the island? On the main street, there were fair stalls lined up next to each other. And among the young women, I could see children who didn't fit in with this place. Have you forgotten? Isn't today the festival that happens once a year? Festival? The big festival celebrating the god of this island. Yes, that's right. So you think, okay, we've been married for almost a year thinking about it. Like, because you know what I mean? Like, you figure, oh, the festival happened, and within the next month or so, we probably got freed, so, you know. It's been quite many months. So, okay, this one, it's been a while. Yes, it's been like 8+ months, probably, at least. You know what I mean? So. Did Kageru-san want to come to the festival with me? At that moment, the booming sound of a drum echoed through the area. And in the distance, I started to hear the sounds of Japanese festival music. With the fully fledged start of the festival, the lines of people began to move. Oh, when we came to the fair before, it was in the daytime, wasn't it? So this is why you said you wanted to spend our break on the island. Yes, Spacey. He put his hand around my waist and held my shoulder close to him. Kageru-san's eyes reflected the lights of the lanterns and twinkled mysteriously. The ridges of his chiseled chin, the beautifully formed shape of his nose. I want to spend time with you, under the night sky like this. His sweet, slightly nasal voice tickled the depths of my ears, and his clear voice that was neither that of an adult nor a child. I was emotionally excited. Kageru-san, even after spending a few months together as a married couple, he still captured my heart. Oh, let's go. I have something that I want to show you, Spacey. Something you want to show me? We can't do that in public. Yes, hurry. Treading lightly, Kageru-san led me towards Inari Shrine. We passed the main street lined with lanterns, and made our way to Inari's shrine in the red light district. As we got further away from the main street, it became less and less crowded with people. Here it is. Where are we? He brought me to a quiet, vacant lot behind the shrine grounds. Why did you take me to an empty place like this? Because it's empty. Come sit here and look up at the sky. Oh my god, we're gonna stargaze? We sat next to each other on the edge of the shrine. When I looked up at the sky, it's beautiful. In the far distance, the red roofs and deep green woods were illuminated by dim lights. A stadium of stars shined brightly in the wide-open night sky. And the lights shining in Yoshiwara don't really reach this far. Isn't it beautiful? Did Kageru-san take me here to show me this night sky view? But instead of the night sky, the only thing being reflected in Kageru-san's eyes was my face. So why are you only looking at my face? It's not like I was really looking at your face. But? Even without the lights, I could see that his profile was being flushed with red. What did he want to say? Your eyes, as they reflect the stars, are much more beautiful than the night sky. Aw, that's kind of sweet. Those eyes of his that stole a look at me were so serious that they pierced my heart. Their color was deeper and clearer than the night sky. It was like they were showing me his heart. Kageru-san? I gazed at his beautiful eyes without blinking. What did you make me say? His fingers that held mine from where we came to the red light district until now, from when we came to the red light district until now, were trembling in concert with his eyes. His hands covered my body and embraced me tightly to try and conceal his shaking. Kageru-san's soft hair tickled my neck and made me stir my body. I could smell the scent of flowers from his black hair. Oh, when you look at me with such innocent eyes, I go crazy. He grabbed my shoulders. And this time he peered into my face at a distance that seemed close enough for our noses to touch. I just want you to... His soft speaking lips seductively enticed me. Kisses awaited me. When I thought about that, I completely forgot about the shining stars. The palm of his hand softly supported the back of my head and right when our lips touched each other. Aww! Boom! Crackle, crackle, crackle. A large flower bloomed in the night sky with a loud, bursting sound. A flood of multicolored light shined throughout the entire sky. The sounds erased Kakeru-san's words, and he kissed me again deeply. I was worried that he might feel my shamelessly racing heartbeat through my body. The kiss was long. So long. I'm not moaning. No matter how many times the fireworks shined in the night sky, his never-ending kiss continued to want me intensely. His amorous tongue invaded my mouth, opening a way past my teeth and tangled itself with my tongue. It was hot. It was hot. The brightness of the sparks burned my sight and made my eyes water. Spacey. His lips momentarily separated from mine, and he called my name from his half-open mouth. His hand that held the back of my head traced the nape of my neck that didn't know its touch. Before I knew it, his deft fingers were undoing the buttons at my chest. See, don't you think it's beautiful to see the fireworks from here? Are you getting me naked in the back of a shrine? I think that's wrong in so many ways. But the only thing that catches my eye is your beautiful face. I wanted to show you the fireworks in this place, Spacey. Kakeru-san. My consciousness was already filled with love, halfway between a dream and reality. The only thing that's sad about this is he's like slow, he kisses you and she just blacks out and he does whatever he wants. Like, girl, I'm gonna need you to like focus a little. It's okay to like be swept away by love, but I'm gonna need you, like, you're in public, focus. Whoopsie. Click the wrong thing. This place is a little known good spot. It's so beautiful that nobody comes here. There alone, his sweet voice and the sounds of the fireworks burned the inside of my ears. What are you doing in a place like this? And nobody will come here. But my voice. And now the sounds of the fireworks should hide it. So, just a little. Yeah, just a little. Dude. Well, Kakeru-san's eyes were heated by a passion that was uncharacteristic of a boy. Boom. At that moment, a large set of fireworks went off in the night sky. Look, there is, I'm like, what? You can't do it. But then there is a part of me that's like, I'm okay with this. It's wrong, but I'm okay with it. Oh, that's me. At the same time, Kakeru-san's lips strongly sucked my neck. The palm of his hand slowly came in through the seams of my blouse. I'm not moaning, I can't do it. His hands lifted my soft bosom from below my chest. What? Okay. And the palm of his hand slowly fondled me. The tip of his nail then touched the top of my nipple in a teasing manner. They said the word nipple and they made me read it. Not the tip of the flower of my bosom or something fucking weird. You know. A disgraceful voice slipped out of my throat. No, it was more like, I'm not gonna really do it. I'm not gonna actually try to make legit sounds, because I can't. But, I mean, I can, but I'm not gonna. But the sound of the fireworks bursting in the night sky drowned my voice out. Kakeru-san. Unable to resist any longer, I put my arms around Kakeru-san's back. I couldn't support my body unless I grabbed onto something. I almost went crazy from the massive heat overflowing from my body. Spacey. Was it from embarrassment or a melting ecstasy? Did I want him to stop or did I want more? Before I knew it, I buried my face into his neck and bit my lips. I'm sorry. I just wanted to see the momentary beauty of the fireworks. But if you're going to act so seductively, This is my fault now? I just wanted to see the fireworks, but if you're gonna be a whore and jump on my fucking rock hard cock, then, I mean, the fuck? I'm the one that's being seductive. Okay. You know what? I'm glad that when you are grabbing my boobies in public, it's turning you on so much that I'm the seductive one. Okay, I mean, I guess, but like, what the fuck? Oh, God. His usually cool and sharp eyes were only at this moment shining brightly with sparks of fire. I'm not moaning. We kissed once more. Spacey, the fireworks that painted the night sky were beautiful, and Kageru-san's sweet stimulation made me feel good. I want to stay like this and be carried away in this experience. And just a little. Yes, Kageru-san. As we weaved together the joys of our love, the flood of light and sound continued to dance beautifully in the sky. I mean, they were literally making fireworks while fireworks were happening. I'm not gonna lie, that was highly inappropriate, but I like it. Like, you're like, oh, this is naughty. People could have caught you. I'm sure, you know, he just kind of like, he's got a zipper on his pants, we got a dress, nobody will know. You're just like, I'm just sitting in his lap, and he's got his hand in my blouse. That's it, we're just making out. There's not sex going on here. I'm not, like, no one's gonna come here. You don't, well, someone is definitely, but not in the way you meant, but. Oh, good Lord. There's a sweet, happy face. That's actually adorable. It's like, ha ha ha. He doesn't look like he's only like 18 to 20. And there's a sleepy face. But that's also his kiss face, I guess. You know, his like little sprite didn't, like, Tokiwa had the weirdest one. And like, there's always like a kissy sprite, which is just weird. And I don't think he actually had one. Like, that's cute. Do like that they gave her eyes. Not gonna lie. But, we'll leave it on that one, because that one's cute. With the pretty fireworks in the back, and then you get that lovely memory of what they're doing right now. While the fireworks are happening. Inappropriate. Anyway. Yeah, so we'll do the little sub-stories for Kageru in the next part. I believe I think he had 4 of them, so that'll probably take about an hour, so. Yeah, be a normal length-ish part, so. I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.